Hello grade 7. Today we're going to discuss the second part in chapter 1 in unit 3, and the objectives of our session today is to define a chemical reaction and explain activity 1 on page 104. Let's define a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is the transformation of a substance or substances known as reactants into new substance or substances of a new identity known as products. Okay, so we have a transformation of reactants to products. So the reactants are the substances that are going to be transformed during a chemical reaction, and the products are the substances formed after a chemical reaction has occurred. Okay, so this is an equation of a chemical reaction. As you can see here, we have reactant 1 plus reactant 2 gives are transformed into product 1 and product 2. Okay, so we have the reactants should be written before the arrow, and after the arrow we're going to write the products. Okay, so here we have two reactants and two products. It doesn't necessitate the chemical reaction has two reactants or two products. It depends on the type of a chemical reaction. We could have one reactant that will be transformed into two products, or for example two reactants that will form one product. It only depends on the type of a chemical reaction. Okay, so we're going to start by the first activity, which is on page 104. The title of this activity is heating table sugar. So we have an experiment that we're going to heat sugar, table sugar. Okay, here we have a video that will show you this experiment, so let's watch it. Okay, first of all, what did we use? Okay, first of all, what do we have? We have a Bunsen burner, a metallic tongs, and what? A test tube containing sugar. Okay, so we will turn on the Bunsen burner, and we will start exposing the test tube to heat. Okay, as you can see, the sugar starts to change its color to brown. So we have a chemical change because we have a change of color, as you can see. Okay, we have a transformation. Okay, sugar is not there, it's transformed into a new substance known as caramel. So this phenomena is called caramelization, where sugar, the color of sugar is changed from white to brown. Okay, continuous heating, as you can see, will cause the formation of a black deposit, which is known as carbon or charcoal. Okay, so this is called carbon or charcoal. You see also on the walls of the test tube we have droplets of water. Okay, we have water. From where did they come? These droplets came because when sugar is heated, it releases water vapor, and this water vapor, it hits the wall of the test tube and condenses into water vapor, into water droplets. Okay, so this water vapor will condense, when it is released upon heating sugar. It will hit the test tube the wall of the test tube, and it will condense into water droplets. Okay, so this was the experiment. So we have, first we started by a test tube containing sugar, white sugar, and we ended, by the end of the experiment, we have a black deposit and we have water droplets on the test tube. So we can say the reactant was sugar, but sugar did not transform into this black deposit, which is carbon or charcoal. It didn't transform alone. Of course, upon heating, it needs heat, we said so, but we have an invisible reactant, which is oxygen, that came from the air. لأنه here, as you can see, the test tube is open, يعني it can, the oxygen can enter, or air can enter. Okay, so we have the reactants here are the sugar and the oxygen, O2 oxygen. We have the products, they are transformed into carbon, and we have what? We have water vapor, right? So W, water vapor, or we can write H2O. Okay, so this is how the reaction took place. So a reaction took place between sugar and oxygen, and upon heating, of course, it will change into carbon and water vapor type. This is a chemical reaction. Why? Because we have a change of color. So the evidence that can prove the presence of a chemical reaction is the change of color. We have a change of color, so it is irreversible, and we have formation. And change of color means that we have formation of new substances. Okay, so the reactants we said are sugar and oxygen. The products are water vapor and the charcoal or the carbon. And we have, would this change take place without heating? Of course not. So it needs heat, and since it needs heat, it's called an endothermic reaction. Endo means need, thermic heat, so it needs heat. It's called endothermic reaction. Okay, and this reaction where the reactants are sugar and oxygen, and the products are water vapor and charcoal, of course, upon heating. So heating sugar in presence of oxygen is called combustion of sugar. Okay, so this is the activity 1. The reaction of activity 1 is called combustion of sugar. Why combustion? Because we are heating sugar in presence of oxygen. So anything that is reacting with oxygen and gives water vapor, charcoal, which is carbon, you can write carbon instead of charcoal, okay, it's called combustion. Okay, so combustion is a reaction where substance reacts with oxygen and give water vapor and carbon. Okay, so by this we ended our session for today. Hope you understood it, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Goodbye.